Welcome to this introduction to Innate Timesheets version 7. We'll cover aspects of the software for timesheet users and timesheet approvers. After you've logged on using the URL that you'll have been given, you'll see a screen similar to this. You will either need to type in your name or select it from a pull-down list, add your password, and then click Continue. That takes you through to your home page. This could be blank or contain some useful reports. The example we have here for Nat is just a timesheet report showing hours booked over preceding weeks. Now, to access a timesheet, you go Timesheets, choose Timesheet, and you'll be presented with a list. Normally there will be one or two entries in this list. They will relate to the current week and the ability to create the following week. So let's open the current timesheet and see what it looks like. The layout of the timesheet is really as you would expect. To the left we have lists of projects and tasks against which time can be booked, and then to the right we have a series of daily columns where hours can be entered. Now, there are a number of things that you can do on this. You can customize this. So, for example, you can change the layout of columns. You can, with a right click, you can insert columns or hide columns. And then you've got another number of other options. Most of these are contained in this with what's here on the bottom row. The first thing is you've got the ability here, subject to what's been set up, to enter time in a number of units. We've got an example of hours, hours or minutes, or hours or decimal hours, for example. We'll stick with decimal hours. The More button gives you some other options. This enables you to hide weekends, to show rows that may have been deleted. And if you have a timesheet that has a large number of rows, then you can stipulate the maximum number of rows to be shown in any page. And then over here on the bottom left, these chevrons enable you to skip through in groups of 20 the list of projects and tasks that are available for your timesheet. So let's have a look and see how we enter some hours. We can see here that Nat has already booked 8 hours on Monday and Tuesday for the analysis task on the feasibility study for ABC Corp. These little corner darkness here enables you to enter some information, some daily information about each time cell that as you enter it. So this is where he simply said finished early because, for example. Okay, let's assume that on Wednesday then Nat spent 4 hours on that, on the preparing the report, and then started in the afternoon working on the review. And at this stage he could save this, and then from then on he worked on a project and tasks that are not displayed here. So we want to add that in. So we select a project from the list of projects that he has got access to, and there's the Innate Timesheet design. We'll add that in, and that appears, and then he can book the remaining time for the week as so. You'll notice that as hours are entered, the row totals, the column totals are calculated, and the grand total. And you can have validation rules as well, which will say, for example, there must be a minimum number of hours booked each week, no more than a certain number of hours can be booked each day, and such like. And if you're in breach of those, when you save or send the timesheet, you'll get a warning message. The other thing you can do here is that if there's a task that you're finished with, let's say that's once he's done that, on the project A here, he doesn't want to do that, then a right click will enable that task or that row to be deleted. It's not deleting it in the database, it's just removing it from this week's timesheet. So that's all that's involved really in terms of entering time. What we're going to do now is take a look, log out as Nat, and log on as Anne, who is an approver. So when Anne goes timesheets, choose timesheets, she sees a list of approvals that are awaiting her attention, and you can see here there are a number of weeks. She doesn't have any timesheets here, so she's not really set up as a timesheet user. Let's take a look at the approvals that are awaiting her for the week of the 21st. This is the view that she has. Basically, there are 2 people in her team who have booked time during that week, and these are views of their timesheet. As for the timesheet user, she can change the way this is viewed, the order in which the columns are displayed, and she can now use these checkboxes here to approve or reject the time. If she's happy with everything, she can go to the bottom row and say, I'm happy with the lot. If she's unhappy with the lot, she can reject the lot. Or she could say, well, I'm happy with Larry's, that's fine. That one's fine for Nat, and that one's fine for Nat. But this one I need to reject. And I'm going to send Nat a message which will just say, here is the reason why I'm rejecting. And then once she saves and sends this, that will be returned to Nat, and Nat will have to review his timesheet and resubmit it for approval. Now, that's all there is to it. So we've covered timesheet entry and timesheet approval. There is supporting documentation available on the website, and if you need any further help, please check with your systems administrator or contact our support staff. Thank you. Hope you find it useful.